Thanks for tuning into this episode of Through Jeremiah's Eyes. Today I am joined by an amazing friend who I was introduced to my freshman year by one of my other friends who always brings a lot of energy into a room. We're back on campus to start the spring semester and ready to see how this semester goes. Today we're going to be talking about the transition to college and the biggest lessons that we learned, while also talking about the biggest impacts that we've witnessed others go through and also that we ourselves have felt since being in college. So, Sidney, if you could introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Sidney Brower. I'm an industrial system engineering student at the illustrious North Carolina A&T. And that's pretty much all there is to know about Sidney.
All right, so what made you choose to go to NCAT?
Well, to be honest, this is going to sound crazy, but I really went here because when I was younger, my favorite movie was Drumline. I kid you not. But when I started getting older, I knew I wanted to be an engineer. Like, engineering was something that I had always wanted to do.
Yeah. So,
I had people in my family that had went to this school. Shout out to my cousin TJ. He's been a great role model / mentor, whatever you want to call it.
We love it.
And he was electrical engineering.
Yeah.
So, as time went on, I was like, yeah, this is the school I'm going to go to. I only applied to UNCG for the sake of being close to NCAT. Even though when I came here, I wasn't even an engineering student. Like, I had backed out. I was scared of the math. Yeah. I always thought I was bad at math, but come to find out in high school, I really just didn't pay attention.
But when you start paying attention to studying, then that changes the whole game.
It really changed my whole life. I was like, wow, I'm not bad at math like I thought I was. But, meeting Will and all of you guys, Will is the one that actually put me onto this field because it's perfect because when I was growing up, I wanted to be an automotive engineering.
Yeah.
So this is the closest thing I'll get to it. And even if I don't go in the automotive field, I'm glad I changed my major to this.
Yeah. That was a whole journey too.
Yeah.
But it definitely worked out. Seems like it worked out. So how's your adjustment been to college from high school?
I'm not going to lie. When I first got here, I was super nervous because...
I could not tell that.
I actually was. Like, my biggest fear when I got to college was I didn't have any friends.
Yeah.
Like, all my friends, we went to different schools. And making friends was something I hadn't had to do in a very long time because in high school, my situation was reversed. You know how in high school, freshman year, it starts off as a big friend group, then it just slowly dwindles down. Mine it started off small and kept growing bigger and bigger. So a lot of people from my school came to A&T with me, but I wasn't, the closest with them. But Donald, who I've known since, we were in 4th grade, he went here and he was like, he came before me because, the whole honors program and whatnot. Yeah. So he's like, bro, I'm going to introduce you to some great people. They're cool. I'm like, all right, bet. I need it. I need it. Because at the time, only person I really had was my girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
Or ex-girlfriend. So, yeah, that was the first major adjustment I had to make. Like, how am I going to make friends again?
Yeah.
And then I met you guys, and, it's been smooth sailing since. Yeah. So...
No cap. And that's like the same thing that you had to go through, like trying to find friends and find people here. That was like my main thing because I had absolutely no idea who was coming here. I tried to convince some of my friends from Virginia to come here. Couldn't get anybody to come here. But I met Will we had to take a placement test.
Yeah, I remember him telling you about that.
So then we ran into each other there, and then we ran into each other a few other times, and then we ended up becoming freshman roommates. But he's the one that introduced me to Donald, who I didn't know at the time. And then Donald introduced me to you. And then now it's just...
You know what's crazy? Something that I've seemed to forget every time. I met you and Will first.
For real?
NSO.
Oh, yeah. In the
NSO. We were downstairs. Yeah, at New Story orientation. We were down there playing spades. I was arguing with the... what are they called? ASLs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was arguing with them about basketball. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, and Will ate all my gummies. I said, yeah, you got some. He's like, awesome. And I come back, the bag is empty.
Oh,
I was like,
well, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
see, but just like that, that was my first introduction to you. But you didn't seem like you had any trouble making friends or putting yourself out there or anything. I feel like I was just reserved. I knew Will because I talked to Will a few times, but Will's from here, so he knew more people that were in there.
Yeah.
So I was like, but you were one of the forefront people in there.
If you ever like want to find a way to be my friend, you have to argue with me. Like we have to debate about something.
That's how it is now.
That's one of my favorite things to do is debate about anything. It could be about what's better, apple juice or orange juice, and I'm going to pretend like I'm fighting in a court of law.
What are some of the biggest changes in yourself that you've noticed since entering college?
Basically just, I got very comfortable just being by myself, like being alone. I grew to love myself a lot more. And I actually will give credit to quarantine for that. Because, at that time, we had no choice but to be alone.
You had to learn yourself so much.
And then I realized, like, it made me value friendships a lot more. Like, I already had a deep value for friendships, but coming to college, it gave me a deeper sense of that in a way.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like, that's really, like, the biggest thing. Like, what I value changed a lot.
Yeah. How's that dynamic shifted since you've been in college? Like, the dynamic between relationships, whether they're romantic or platonic, like, how has that changed or developed over the course of college? Especially with quarantine.
Yeah.
So threw a wrench in
we'll start with friendships, because relationship, that's
a whole nother thing.
That's a heavy one.
All right, let's start off with friendships.
We'll start off with friendships. Yeah. So with friendships, I was like, when I first got here, I was super big on whatever friend I made. As long as there wasn't no crazy issue, we could have been friends for life.
Yeah.
Like, nothing could have changed that. So, like, within our friend group, we've had certain people come and go.
Yeah.
And, when it first happened, it was tough. Like, it hurt a little bit. I was like, dang, I thought we were really cool. Yeah. Like, I thought we was in this forever. Yeah. Like, we was homies.
We're for life.
Like, we was doing stuff for each other that I would have never thought. Up till 3 a.m. in people's dorm rooms doing absolutely nothing. Just talking.
Yeah.
And so, like, when you see that kind of just come and go, it hurts for the first time it happens. Yeah. Like, it's almost like a breakup. Like,
no cap.
I'm telling you now, breakup with a friend, it's a different type of pain than it is, like, with a girlfriend or boyfriend. Yeah. Especially if you didn't have no say in it. Like, they just slowly
faded away.
Yeah, slowly faded away. Like, and it almost like you were reaching out and it was no point.
Yeah.
So, but now, like, that I'm older and, I've got some quote unquote time under my belt. Like, it happens. It's something that just happens. So yeah, but I still do have that same value, but not the same, like, grasp and hold. Yeah.
It's like the same value on it, but the reaction won't be as taxing.
Yeah, it's not as, like, detrimental to my lifestyle.
Yeah, because, like, from when I was getting out of, well, even in high school, it was just like a really big battle, like determining who are my real friends and who I just talked to in school. And that just showed itself even more so once I went to college. Because it was like, oh, in high school, everybody thinks you talk to so many people, they're going to be your friends when you're in college and everything. Mm-hmm. And then you don't believe that when you're in high school. But then you leave the college, and then you realize you talk to only a few people.
A few people. Like, you've got friends that, you could tell which friends, are there forever from high school. But those ones that, you talk to only in school, you're really not going to hang out with them as much as you thought you were.
Yeah.
So it just kind of fades away in that aspect.
No cap. And then one of the, like, I guess I feel like friendships or relationships now in general, I feel like they're more mature in a way.
For sure. Because
everyone's growing up. As you're saying, everybody's learning to, like, find themselves and who they are and valuing themselves. Sure. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like that whole maturity aspect of everything has.
Yeah, and one of the best experiences about friendships in college compared to high school, like, now that I'm in college, my friend group has women in it.
Yeah.
Like, in high school, that really wasn't the case, but now, like, you've got women, people who are LGBTQ. It's a wide variety and a different spectrum, and it's a great thing to have.
No cap.
Like, it's a really great thing to have. I will admit though, like, when speaking from a guy's perspective, like, the friendships seem to hold out a lot better on our end than, unfortunately, for the women. I've noticed, like, a lot of our women friends have they fell out over something that was seeming significant to us, but it's a different perspective on the way we view things.
Very much so, and I think that's also one of the things that I appreciate, or not like the stuff that bad happened, but, like, having a diverse like, friend group.
For sure.
Because you have people, not only different races, different genders, whatever they identify as, or sexuality, pretty much like over the course of everything. And then also geographically, we have people from Virginia, we have people from California, we have people from Florida, we have people from absolutely everywhere here at NCAT in our friend group. So it's like just being able to have all those ideas, and especially when it comes into the arguments.
Oh my
everybody
God.
argues differently, everybody debates differently, different lines can be crossed.
You won't realize how much pride you have in your state until someone talks bad about it.
No cap. And being from the DMV, I didn't even know that everybody was like riding so hard for the DMV through high school. But when I got here, DMV,
like they rep it like crazy.
Yes.
And me, see, like, I always loved North Carolina because that's really the only place I knew. Like,
yeah.
And even still, like, it's the only place I know. And if that never happens to change, I don't mind that. Of course, I want to travel to other countries, but as far as like where I want to settle down, I would not mind this place. Because think about it, we got everything. We've got mountains, we've got beaches, Piedmonts, lakes, whatever you want, we got it. It's just, the culture here, people come from other places, a lot busier cities, they feel like it's boring. And I'm like, I wouldn't say it's boring. Like, when you're here, I think you have some of the most genuine fun because you make it.
Yeah.
It's not something given to you, like an activity for you to do. You go out and find something to do for fun.
And I feel like with, at least from my time here, like, especially freshman year, before COVID and everything, like, we would have to go out and just do random stuff. Just, like, go on a walk to, like, of course we could get an Uber to a restaurant or to get some food, but we would just go and walk to go get the food. And there were so many different memories that we made.
Oh, my goodness. Like, the walk there be better than the food.
No cap.
Like, anybody who goes to the NCAT and is listening has definitely 100% made a walk to Eminem.
Yes.
There's no way. And I guarantee you had a blast.
Yes.
Unless it was freezing cold. But even then, you probably still had some fun.
As long as you're with the cool people, then you just make the fun. As you were saying. Were you there when we were on the walk and then there was a stray dog?
Bro, we've walked to Eminem so many times. I probably couldn't pick a specific one.
There was like, I forgot when it was. It was freshman year, but we were walking to, I think it was either Popeyes or Bojangles. But we were walking through this neighborhood, and this stray dog just starts running up on us.
Oh,
we had absolutely no idea what it was, and then one of our friends was freaking out. So then
was it Milo?
Yes. So then it was this whole thing, but then like once everybody was chill, then the dog was just also chilling. But it was like, that's just a memory that I'll always remember, even though in the moment it was like, this is crazy, but I didn't know that I'll still remember it to this day and be like, why can't we have more moments like that? Like, that was
just a good boy. He was just a good boy.
I forgot who it was. Milo had jumped on somebody's back. I was like,
Milo probably jumped on a monitor with his back. They get the worst of it.
I was like, this is insane. But I loved every second of it, and all the different like walks, all the different. When we go shopping, same thing. Just being able to make fun.
Yeah. Now, so I feel like it's a perfect time to go into the relationship aspect because now we both have a perspective that panned out in different ways. One on probably a lighter note than the other. Yeah. Mine was not so light, but I'm now more mature. I have no ill will towards this person, so I've grown past that. So I feel like it'd be best to start off with a more positive note. So I'll let you take the lead on that one.
So just at least from high school going into college, one thing, just like how everybody or like how the relationship was affected in high school, I feel like we were both of us were on a more mature level than everybody in high school. Kind of isolated ourselves in a way. But I feel like that was good. Dated for over 3 years. But once I got to college, it was just even more so having to grow in ourselves since we were apart, since it was long distance. Just that maturity aspect that I was talking about earlier, having to mature in how college just kind of is like, you're an adult now, you got to figure out to be able to provide for yourself, be able to do everything that you need to do, and you don't have as much time for a relationship. Yeah. I mean, she's school, same thing, military, same thing. But it kind of ended off on it being just the wrong timing. Yeah,
it's a lot. That's a lot to handle at the age we're at and the predicaments that we're in. Yeah. So mine was, in high school we dated. I think we were together for 4 years. I was infatuated with this girl in high school, yada, yada, yada. And so, coming into college, what a lot of older people tell you, like, don't go into college with a girlfriend. It doesn't work out. I was determined to prove them wrong. And I failed. But, this isn't, knocking anyone else for trying. If you feel like your relationship can last through college, go for it. Because you don't want to call it off and regret your decision. Yeah. You at least need to try, especially if you love that person.
Yeah. So, it's always worth it.
Yeah. I tried, and from the start, it did not, go too well. Like, I'm not gonna get into all detail, but it was rather toxic. Like, there was a lot of pettiness involved, and a lot of neglect on one end from the other, and so we were on and off. Like, we were on for freshman year, and a lot of hiccups in the road. Yeah. Like, a lot of hiccups, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of sadness, but the last straw was during quarantine, and we fell out. And it hurts. I'm not gonna sit over here and lie and say that it's the most pleasant feeling in the world, because it's not. But it happened, and it happened for a good reason. Yeah. So that once we fell out, and I just kind of started to take my time, and over quarantine I did the most growing in my life I think I've ever done. Yeah. Like, because I had no choice but to be alone. Yeah. And so like it wasn't healthy anymore. So we had to cut that off. But for what happened in the time it did, I'm ecstatic that it did. I'm in a much better place. It seems like somewhere off in the distance that she is too. So I have no regrets about it. And it's just to each his own. Like, the best way I can put it. You can either try, or you can cut it off. Either way, you're going to be okay. Yeah. You're going to be okay. It's going to suck for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, in that moment, you're like...
In that moment, it feels like your world is crumbling, but you will be fine. I promise you will be fine. Yeah. There's a lot of individuals out here on college, and, everybody has stories. Yeah. So...
And I feel like that's one of the, like... I don't know, the fact that happened in college, it's like, if this happened in high school... I don't know how I would have reacted, just because I'm not as sound in who I am, and I don't have that same level of maturity and self-love that I have now. Yeah. But the fact that it happened in college still hurt like hell.
Oh yeah, genuinely, for sure.
But it also caused me to grow even more in myself, even more than I thought that I could, in a way, because I was like, oh, I'm in such a good place right now. But then when that happened, I was like, wow, wait. Who am I?
Yeah, like what is when you're in high school, you really don't know who you are yet. Yeah. If you do, shout out to you. Impressive and amazing feat. But when it happened, I was like, I don't, because I never just considered me. Yeah. It was never just Sidney. It was Sidney and this other person. Yeah. So when it was just Sidney, I had to make do, and that was the happiest I had ever been. Yeah. But what I will tell people about is the dating scene in college. That is it's an odd place to be. If I could give any advice, is expect nothing. Expect nothing, because I'm the type of person, until we are boyfriend and girlfriend, you don't owe me anything. Yeah. And I don't owe you anything. If you want to go talk and mingle and do whatever you want to with any other person, it is nowhere in my contract to be upset. Yeah. And I feel like I should be granted that same appreciation. Now, if you feel like that isn't you, then you should definitely watch who you talk to. Like, watch who you communicate with, and make sure you set your boundaries immediately, so y'all can either come to an agreement or just forget it.
And be mature and communicate your intentions with people.
Yeah, please. And fellas, we know how you get down. Yeah. So, hey, women too. Women players now too. Yeah. So, just if I ain't nobody's father, so do what you want to, but there's consequences for every action.
That is very true. That is very true. And I haven't been on the dating scene or anything, but from stories that I've heard, I will second your opinion on that. And one of the other things, speaking of like dating scene, and presenting yourself, one of the things that I've developed one of the things that I've had to start learning was developing my fashion sense. Because I don't even know when it was. when, like, even late in high school, even through my first 2 years in college, I was like, I'm gonna just throw on some sweatpants and a hoodie.
Yeah.
If somebody looks at me something crazy, then they look at me crazy. I got my Crocs on. I'm just be chilling no matter what. If I had to go to a meeting, same thing.
It's either cute or comfortable.
Yeah,
you can't have both.
Yes.
And if you can't have both, you're a beautiful person.
Yeah, so it's like I just be chilling. But one of the things now that I'm trying to get into is trying to find my fashion sense and how I want to present myself. So like spending money on like watches or this necklace or shoes, which I love shoes. And then also just clothes in general. Like instead of wearing sweatpants every day, I got some jeans. I got some ripped jeans.
Change your life.
Yeah. Instead of just wearing hoodies all the time, I got some jackets. So it's like just like broadening my horizons. And one of the things that I take from you, you're very fashionable. In my opinion, your confidence, the way you present yourself is very good. So like, how did you find your fashion sense, and how did you develop the confidence that you have today?
Shout out to mom and pop. And when they were younger, they were very fashionable. Like, you know, I was not a believer in, you know, that history repeats itself in terms of fashion, but it is very evident that it does, because I go back and look at a picture of my dad taken in 2003, and he has on a Guess shirt, very similar to what I was wearing, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
So when I was younger, like my mom was always dressing me up and whatnot. So when I started to get of age, I wanted to dress myself, because I'm a firm believer in if you look good, you feel good.
Yeah.
And I try to take that to my day to day. So like, you know, and then that goes along with hygiene as well. Like, you know, get your hair cut every now and again. You know, have a face routine. No cap. Stuff like that. And so my fashion sense, it's forever changing. It's really this forever changing thing. I don't know. It's just something that's always been with me. But something I've always loved is shoes, sneakers. Like my mom and dad, big sneakerheads. I'll never forget when I was old enough and I was big enough, I would take my mom's old Jordans, like her old retro Jordans. Yeah. Like she had Olympic 5s, playoff 13s.
Goodness gracious.
And you know, back in the day, like if I had those now, those are worth some money. Those are worth money now. Like Nike, like the OGs, and crazy stuff like that. So like whenever I got of age, I took her shoes, and she used to get so mad at me about it, because you know I was young, I didn't know how to treat them. Yeah. But I would take her shoes because I loved them, and you know I used to love when school was about to start, because I knew my mom was gonna get me a new pair of shoes.
That first day fit.
That first day class fit.
They even got that in college.
All the way from 3rd grade to now, like first day of class fit has to be something special, and you know. So, yeah, like I really. It's all from my mom and dad. Even though now I feel like I dress way better than them, and they be trying to like my mom will give me fashion tips, and I'm like, I'm not trying to hear that, mom. Like you can't dress like me. I have this in the bag, and I don't even think I'm the most best dressed person out here, but you know I have a little confidence in myself.
Yes.
But you know, for anybody looking to up their fashion thing, like the best tips I can give you is accessorize. Yeah. Like you know. You can make your sweatpants and a white t-shirt look like one of the best outfits out here. You may just need to throw on a hat. Or, you know, invest in jewelry too, because, you know, number one, if you buy gold is worth more than diamonds in the long run. Yeah. Diamonds depreciate as soon as you buy them.
Don't get your watch iced out.
Don't get it. It loses value immediately. It looks good in the moment, and, you know, if you're not looking for stuff like that, then why not? You know, that's what you want, go ahead. I've always been big on gold. Like, I wear gold to this day. Like, I have on gold necklaces.
Yeah, I was about to say, you got all gold right now.
Yeah, I had gold earrings. I bought a ring. That's one of my favorite pieces of jewelry that I cannot seem to find now. A watch, like, accessorize. It'll really change. It'll really change how you look. But, crazy enough, even though all the clothes I wear, my favorite compliment ever to hear is that I smell good. That is the best compliment I can be given from a woman, is that I smell good. So yeah, hygiene. Stay on top.
Hygiene is. Bro, they're like daily like self-care. Like you were saying, like having a face routine.
Yes.
Hair routine. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure that you're smelling good. Because if you're not presenting yourself right,
Yeah, because no girl wants to be up under a smelly dude.
And no cap.
And no dude wants to be up under a smelly girl.
Same thing.
And you would be surprised how many girls, just don't have the proper hygiene, or just people in general. But I really feel like hygiene, like if you don't want to dress up, please be clean.
Yeah.
Please be clean. That is one of the best tips I can give you, because if you smell good, people remember that.
Yeah.
People will remember that. They might remember one outfit you had whatever day. You could dress nice every day, but if you smell good, it takes you a long way.
And if you smell bad, you could have on the best. You could have on the best fit.
Nobody's gonna want to get close to you.
Nobody will even care about. All they're gonna talk about is how you smell. And it's crazy. You gotta make sure you know how to present yourself. And I feel like that's one of the things that I've learned. Always been like clean, like having hair routine, skin routine, all that different type of stuff. But clothing wise, I was just always like.
And fellas, please invest in some cologne.
Yes.
But don't douse yourself in it. Just 1, 2, 3, and take you a long way. Because I've heard a lot of my women friends talk about how dudes just don't wear cologne anymore. Yeah. Like sometimes they won't necessarily smell bad, but you'll just smell like laundry.
Yeah.
And I promise you, if you smell good, it sticks out. It really does help. And you can ask anybody. If you smell good, you're memorable.
Yep.
You're memorable. Please put on deodorant too.
No cap. Don't be having no sweaty piss and just stinking. Nah, heck no.
Okay, I got a question for you. You said you love shoes as well.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite shoe? Like, what do you feel is the pinnacle shoe you can wear?
If I could have like every colorway of a shoe, like my favorite shoe of all time.
Not even a colorway, because like the one I'm gonna say is like there is no other colorway I would ever wear. It's one shoe. Like if you could wear one shoe for the rest of your life, what shoe would it be and why?
I would say my favorite shoe is or if I could have any shoe in the world, I'll say that. If I could have any shoe in the world, they would be the Off-White Jordan 4s.
Crazy. My uncle won 2 pairs in a raffle.
What?
He won 2 pairs and sold them immediately. I was so hurt.
Yeah, I feel like that would be the shoe. But my favorite shoe of all time would probably be the KD7. 35,000 degrees.
Classic.
Yeah. I think that was like one of the first pair of shoes.
To me, that's the best era of shoes.
Yes,
like the Kobe, LeBron, Kevin
KD era. Yeah.
That era was the best. Because like if you wanted the pair of shoes and you had the money, you could go get it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you have to go through. Feel like you have to sell your soul for a pair of shoes. Like
StockX, go.
Oh man,
or you gotta go on the Nike sneakers app and then have to wait.
I hate the resale industry. I think it is the worst thing to grace the shoe game ever.
It is wild, but people make so much money.
Money, but if I thought about doing it because of how much money is into it, but it just doesn't feel right. Like these aren't meant, especially like if they're not a designer collab. These shoes aren't meant to be exclusive. These are if you want them, you could go get them. That's how I feel like it should be. So people wearing replicas nowadays doesn't faze me at all.
Yeah. Like,
go do it. Like, you can't get the shoe at a reasonable price nowadays. And I'm sorry, but for a shoe that was selling or for a shoe that retails at $200, there's no way you should be paying $500-$600.
Yep.
Even though I've done it before.
Same.
I don't co-sign that. Please don't do it.
Yeah.
If you can help yourself, please don't do it. But if I could pick any shoe that I would wear for the rest of my life, the all-white Air Force One.
Ooh.
Hear me out. It is the best shoe ever made. There's nothing. I don't care what kind of shoes you have on. When you break out a brand new pair of all white Air Force Ones, they shine in the light something crazy.
They have to be brand new.
Oh yeah.
They can't have a speck of dirt on them. And then you just buy them over and over again.
And that's okay with me. That is okay with me. Because I can keep buying Air Force Ones, but I will not keep buying Jordan 4. The same Jordan 4 over and over again.
And they hurt my feet, so I don't like
that's understandable. That's why I put an insole in mine, because they're not the most comfortable shoe. But I do have another pair of shoes that like is the pinnacle for me, and I have them. It is the white and cream Nike Sacai Daybreak collabs.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Those... If I ever want to just feel like I have money, I throw those shoes on. Like, those are, like, as far as the look, and it was crazy. I sent them to the group chat when I first got them, and nobody liked them. They're like, those are ugly, Sid. And I was like, that's crazy. And now that I'm wearing them, everybody's asking me, where did I get them from? How much did I pay for them? Like, it's crazy. And I'm sorry, I know the price on them is still crazy right now. I'll go back and rebuy them. I'm going to go back and rebuy them.
So that's one of those shoes, no matter what.
Like at one day, I'm gonna run out of shoes to buy. I'm gonna run out of pairs to buy for them. But I will continue to re-up on those.
Goodness gracious! I don't know if I'll ever buy the same pair of shoes twice. But then at the same time, I was gonna get some of those KD7s.
Like it's almost like it's a staple in your closet. Like if it's what I love about the white Air Force One. No matter what outfit you're wearing.
It goes with it.
It goes.
And
with
it looks
it.
hard.
You can wear a suit and put on a brand new pair of Air Force Ones, and you still have professional look about yourself.
Yeah.
It to me, it's an amazing shoe. It is the best shoe.
I wouldn't say the best, but
hey, we can agree to disagree on that.
I respect it. Can't hate on it. Let's see what other shoes. The university blue Jordan 4s I just got. That's probably my most
powder blue. It's a nice color.
Yeah, that's like probably my most expensive shoe that I've ever bought. But one of the reasons I stopped buying shoes, at least when I was in middle school, I was just like
you kept growing.
And then I was like, so I'd spend like $100, $200 on some shoes,
and
then I would grow out of them, and I'd be like, well, can I get my money back? So then that just happened over and over again. So then I stopped buying shoes, but now you can see, I'm back to buying
spending
shoes.
Money.
Yes, and it sucks because I'm size 11 and a half, like 12. So then that's in the resale market, that's where the prices start just.
Yeah, see, and it's like I have a very unfortunate shoe size too. I'm a smaller fella, so like I wear 8.5, 9. So granted, you wouldn't think that those shoes go fast, but what sucks about that size is you have people who are also my size, women who can wear that size shoe, and kids who are growing past that size. So
that's all that stock.
Yes, StockX they kill anywhere from 7 to I think maybe 12s. Getting those shoes, you're gonna spend the most money.
No cap, it's wild. The resale market is wild. Even with like just in general the resale market, like PS5s.
Oh my, that breaks my heart, bro. Because PS5 is not meant to be exclusive. PS5 is not meant to be exclusive. I actually feel like anyone who does do that, you should be on caution to defend yourself at any moment. Because I would be ready to fight.
You would throw hands or something?
I would throw hands like. That is my childhood. Playing video games, that is important to people's lives, man. That's your getaway.
Yeah.
And one day they're going to stop making games for the PS4. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
And if I can't get my hands on a PS5,
someone got to catch the hand.
Someone has to feel the wrath.
That's like, I wanted a PS5. I was trying to get one for like, I think like 6-7 months. And then I was like, I'm not about to just keep on trying to do this.
And one day they're gonna have excess supply.
Yeah.
And I'll just wait on that day. They're still making games for the PS4. I'll take it. And I can still play with my PS5 friends, so I'm gonna just ride this out until I can't no more.
Yeah, and one of the things I've always been on Xbox. I had since the first Xbox. I had the Xbox 360, Xbox One. Got this Xbox, the digital one for the next gen. I just want them to introduce cross-platform on it.
Man.
Because then once they get Xbox and PS5, I feel like that's just gonna bring everybody together. Because I feel like that's like the main differentiator between people choosing whether to get an Xbox or PlayStation is where most of their friends.
Yeah, where most of your friends, and as a PlayStation player, I do say I feel for Xbox players. Yeah, because y'all are losing a lot of players.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of your friends are going to PlayStation, and you may not want to do that, but you have to in order to have people to play with. So I really do feel for the Xbox community because they did let y'all down at the start of the release of what's the new one called, the Series?
Yeah, the Series X and Series S.
Yeah, that they really let y'all down there because they didn't give y'all enough games. They didn't fight enough. So that's very unfortunate. And, PlayStation, we've been getting the golden treatment.
Yeah. I just want they still haven't released Halo, and I feel like that's like that was the main reason why.
Yeah, that's Forza and Halo is a lot of the reason that people stay on Xbox.
They're peak games.
They're the last two keeping them alive.
But
we got lucky. We got God of War. We've got Spider-Man.
But I don't like single player games, so that's why I like Xbox, because then we have the multiplayer like Forza and Halo. We have those franchises that are multiplayer.
It's crazy though, because y'all used to run the gaming scene like fighting games, Xbox. What's the other one? Fighting games, first person shooters like Call of Duty. Y'all used to run that, and now like the fighting game community on Xbox is a dead aspect. Like I haven't. Anytime like there's tournaments for fighting games and stuff like that, always PlayStation or PC. I've never seen Xbox. They don't even use people don't even bring their controllers to play there, and that's unfortunate. Like, because I really was hoping for cross-platform one day. Because maybe if we get cross-platform, maybe I'll get Forza.
No cap. It's like I think up until the Xbox 360, Xbox was dominating, and then PS4 smacked Xbox,
took over,
and then now that's carrying over to right now.
Yeah, I feel like the Xbox was rushed.
Yeah.
They rushed it out to try to compete, but I feel like they would have held out and
waited until we had games.
Yeah, waited till y'all had better games. And make sure y'all had the fan base that was ready for it. Because the PS5, the marketing for that one was way better than Xbox.
And that's what people paying thousands of dollars in the real sale market for that.
Yeah, because they really want that PlayStation. I'll admit, it is an amazing console. I've played it with some of my friends. It really, it's not worth $1,000, but it's worth the price that they're selling it for.
No
that
cap.
Sony is selling it for.
And one of the things since, like tying it back into college, like being smart with my money, in investing. One of the things I started doing is investing a lot, whether it be in stocks, real estate, but one of the other things that have come up now is crypto.
Yes.
And then on top of crypto, NFTs.
Man, and I'm still ready for you to teach me more about that. There's so much money to be made in that.
Yeah, so NFTs, if you don't know what NFTs are, they're non-fungible tokens. Pretty much, they give authenticity to a digital form of art or
moment.
Yeah, pretty much anything digital. So if you can think of the Mona Lisa has value because it is the Mona Lisa. If you try and take a picture of Mona Lisa, you can have it as your lock screen. You can have a poster of it. You can do whatever you want to. But if it's not the Mona Lisa, it's not worth the same value as the Mona Lisa. But it's that exact same concept, but for a digital piece of art, whether it's like a JPEG image or a GIF or pretty much anything. But I feel like that's like one of the things that I've gotten into heavy since in college, and that I was introduced to since being in college.
Yeah. Like, money is a really big aspect of college. Not just paying for the school itself. Like, you could put your last dollar into school and you go to school, but you don't realize how much money you spend outside of college.
Yeah.
Like, and, fortunately for us, we've been grateful to be in a period where, the school's been very generous with money. Like, COVID with the HERF and, just, healthcare, like, just anything that they're giving us more money than our people who previously went to school have never seen.
And Barnes & Noble, how we have that partnership with them now.
Yeah, how
and
we
don't have to pay
books.
for textbooks anymore. Yeah.
It's crazy. And even still, you find yourself running short on money. So what I did when I first got to school, I didn't get a job. I was like, I want to at least have a cushion of a GPA to where if I do start taking on more responsibility, that I have some wiggle room to allow some mess ups and some hiccups in the road. So I didn't do that for my freshman and sophomore year, and fortunately enough, I was, financially stable at the time. Yeah. But, at some point that money runs out, and you find yourself having to penny watch yourself, like just, watching what you spend, and be smart. But if you can, like if it's in your ability, I would say invest. Like I just now started getting into investing in any kind of way. I put a little bit of money in Bitcoin. Granted, it's going down. Yeah. But it's still there, like in case. Yeah. And throw in some money that you don't expect to get back. I always tell people if you're gonna invest money that you don't expect to get back. Yep. So it's kind of bad because it's like just be ready for the worst and don't look for the positive, because if the positive happens, it's gonna find you. It's gonna find your bank account. So just throw $5 in a stock here and there or 10. It may really change your life. Yeah. So, I threw a little bit of money in Bitcoin. I downloaded the Acorns app, which I think is really cool.
Oh yeah, being able to
just take loose change. Yeah, you can just throw loose change into a thing and it'll separate it and put it away. Like my friend Adriana, she was doing Acorns. She was like, "Wow, I thought I was broke and I didn't even check my Acorns account." I was like, "What you mean?" She said, "I made $200 this month," and I was like, "Really?" Like she said, "I did absolutely nothing. I gave them, I think it was $4 in change from my bank account, and it turned around." I was like, "Oh yeah, I got to get involved in that." Yeah. So, now I'm looking around to invest, trying to learn more about NFTs, any ways that my money that I can make, passive income.
Yeah, they can make your money work.
If you have passive income in college, oh my goodness, you don't unless besides school you don't have a worry in the world.
Yeah, and then that compound interest over the time that you're in college, because 9 times out of 10 when you invest in something, you probably will forget about it.
Yeah, you really will.
You'll look back at it and then you'll be like, dang, my money grew more than it would have in just sitting in a savings account. But once you're introduced to investing, you start learning and taking the time out to start investing. Even just like the Acorns app and everything. There's so many different ways to invest, whether it's in stocks or crypto.
Yeah, it's getting a lot easier for us now. Before, it felt like you had to go talk to a guru about it.
Yeah, you had to be like, you had to call somebody and then they had to order it and then
they had to put you on game. It's a lot easier now. So while it is easy and while it is fresh, I would tell anybody, try it.
Yeah.
Throw your name in the pot.
Even if it's just a few dollars.
Yeah, it literally could be 50 cents with Acorns, and it really may change your life.
Yeah, and it's wild.
It's really crazy because it really shows us that money has no value for real. Like the only value it has is the value we put on it.
Yeah.
Bitcoin should not be worth a dime. It really should. I've never seen anyone pay for anything in Bitcoin. I when I first heard of it, I was like, that's gonna die out soon. Not a believer. I was a non-believer.
You got to do research on it.
You really do.
And then once you do the research on it and everything, you're like, this has a use case in the real world. All the different, not every cryptocurrency, because just as businesses, you shouldn't just throw money at random businesses hoping that they take off.
Yeah.
But some of the biggest cryptocurrencies or the platforms that they're trying to create, like they're actual real use cases for said cryptocurrency or blockchain technology. So it's like being able to invest in that. Also, we're not financial advisors.
Yeah, we are not. Please don't take this with a grain of salt. Do your own research.
Yeah, make sure that you do your own research. This is not financial advice. I don't know like the specific thing that you're supposed to say, but
it was crazy because like I saw a YouTube video like that resurfaced. It was trending on YouTube. He posted it like 7 years ago. He said, "Please invest $1 in Bitcoin." And he was investing early on. Now he is a multi-millionaire. It is crazy.
Because you never know.
You never know.
Could happen. And then he was put onto the game before anybody else was. Because if I knew about this before,
I would have.
My money would have been.
Yeah, I would have been great. I would have been way more than $1 in.
No,
you could have took my whole refund check.
Bruh. But I just I guess investing is one of the things that I've had to get into that my dad introduced me into in high school, but then I forgot about it and I was like, well, I don't want to put my money there because I won't be able to spend it. But now taking business classes and everything, I'm like, and talking to people that are majoring in finance or accounting or something in the business arena, and then knowing about investing, it's like, dang, I really should be thinking about my future, thinking about my retirement, and then actually be putting the money into that. So that's another big thing about college, like being exposed to a wide variety of things.
Yeah, for sure.
And then also exposing people to a wide variety of things, like anime.
Yes. Like, as an anime nerd myself, I would like to consider, I think that's one of my favorite things to watch. And, it's growing now. Like, people are really getting into it. And,
yeah.
Like, it's good. There's really good shows out here. Like, so one of the best rated shows right now is Attack on Titan. And
yep.
I think that is like the peak of fiction. Like, I don't think it gets any better than that as far as storytelling and stuff like that. But that comes from just meeting people who find interest that you would have never imagined.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Anime really is taking off.
It's wild, and just like the journey of trying to convince people to
give it a try.
Just like one episode, just try one show. And then every time.
Like, anime has made its way into a lot of things. Gaming. Crazy enough, fashion.
Yeah.
Anime has made its way into fashion. Like,
people just got a Akatsuki jersey.
Yeah,
which is from an anime.
And then, like, people, like, they dress like anime characters.
Yeah.
Like, there's a show called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And one of the seasons was sponsored by Givenchy. Every character, the extravagant clothing that they had on was all Givenchy. And I thought that was so cool.
That's hard.
I thought that was like one of the coolest things ever. Like, because you watch the end credits and Givenchy in big bold letters pops up.
It's insane. That's also another anime that I need to watch.
Yeah, I really think you should give it a try. It's super, like, it comes off as strange, but it's really creative. Like, if you have a creative mindset, you will appreciate the show.
And I like college for, like, this, like, I wouldn't have even thought to watch JoJo's. But just being exposed to different ideas and perspectives and things that people are interested in, this wouldn't have been possible without.
Right, like, be open to people putting you on to stuff.
Yeah.
Like, don't think you have to go find it all yourself. Like, network. Like,
networking.
Network.
I feel like that's the
networking. Like,
question. What's the biggest lesson that you've learned since transitioning into college? Or through college life in general?
Man.
Besides networking, because this is going to be the answer to this question for me.
For me, it's... Wow, that's a loaded question. For me, it's, I would say, find comfortability with yourself. Like, be able to sit alone and be okay.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be around people 24/7. If you get comfortable with yourself, you'll be fine. Like, because you can be in any scenario, especially if you're a social person. Get comfortable with yourself, and if you're already a person who's reserved and always to themselves, get comfortable being around people. Just be comfortable in social and non-social aspects, and please, for the love of God, find a sense of professionalism.
Yeah.
If there's one thing, like, you can look however you want to. I'm a firm believer that if I wanted to, like, if I could, I would be drenched in tattoos. I would have tattoos on my neck, stuff like that, because I would want my professionalism to speak for itself rather than my appearance. So I really suggest anybody, get comfortable with, being alone and in social environments. Find comfortability. That is the best advice I give. Find comfortability and be professional in the correct occasions.
Yeah, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to grow is by putting yourself in situations that you normally wouldn't really be in.
For sure.
And I feel like that's also great advice. Because that's something that I've had to learn at least through, like, high school and everything. My mom was like, she would throw me this opportunity. I was just like, okay, but when you're in college, you have to go out and do that yourself.
You have to go find it.
So I kind of had that in me, but just even doing that now, it's just like, it's an extra step to be able to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go do this. But now it's like, I'll go wherever. I just got an email today about going to a conference, and I'm like, yep, signing up for that. First come, first serve. Yeah. Best believe I'll sign up for that.
Yeah, it's crazy because, like, people you never know what you may run into. Like, Magic Johnson was a speaker here.
Yeah.
And people didn't even know because they don't read the emails.
Yeah.
They're just like, I'm good. Like, just go try it.
It's wild.
You may run into Magic Johnson.
It's wild because one of my classes that I took last semester was sponsored by the Chris Paul Foundation.
Yeah. And
the class ended up getting the opportunity to speak to Chris Paul on Zoom during finals week. And it was like, I'm actually talking to Chris Paul, future Hall of Famer, playing basketball probably tonight, was in the finals last NBA season. It's like, just being able to have that opportunity and be on the lookout for that was wild. Yeah. Which I came in not having a minor in entrepreneurship, but I was exposed to that opportunity just by talking to people and networking. And then now it turned into me taking this class and then Chris Paul. Like, I don't know how it worked out, but it worked out very well.
Gotta love our HBCU.
Yes. We love it.
And please, all my fellow black people, consider an HBCU.
Yes, because it's an experience that you don't even know the impact that it'll have on you until you're actually here.
Right. Like, I've learned more about black history just going to an HBCU than I ever did in high school or any other aspect of my life. And it's crazy because at first I was worried about going to HBCU. I'm like, I don't know if I want to be around, just one group of people. Yeah. And once I got here, I immediately realized, I'm like, no, this is where I need to be. This is where I needed to be. Like, it was the best decision I ever made. Yeah. So any people who's in high school and you're considering an HBCU, give it a little extra thought. Yeah. Because it really is great. The people here you meet is great. You automatically come in with people who are relatable. And, not everybody's going to be relatable because you have different spectrums of being black. But y'all have one common factor. You're black.
Yep. You can look at somebody and be like, you go through the same experiences as me.
Even if they're not the same, you've been through something similar.
And it's crazy, just the sense of community and family that people have.
Yeah.
Like, just like Will introducing me to Donald, introducing me to you, but then it's like how the whole friendship group, just from people introducing people to other people, like everybody here, at least that I've met for the most part, is cool. Everybody's chilling. Everybody wants to see each other succeed. And it's like there's like a cultivation of black excellence here. Like you hear the term hashtag black excellence or black excellence this, black excellence that. But I feel like at a HBCU, you're even more empowered by that.
Yeah, because that's all you're exposed to. Your professors are, they could be white, they could be black, they could be a different race / nationality, like Russian, Indian. You never know.
From everywhere, and this is like the first. So I had black teachers through like elementary, and let's see, I think I remember 2 or 3 black teachers in my elementary school. I remember one in middle school, and then a few in high school. But then now here it's like
every other class.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is crazy being able to see teachers, people that are actually teaching me the material. Like, these people are smart. These people have like
they made it.
PhDs. I'm like, this is insane being able to see this. I wish I had this when I was younger. So it's like that kind of draws me wanting to be a teacher, but no.
Yeah, you just don't get paid enough. Yeah.
Which is also insane,
bro. That would be one of my dream jobs, to be a teacher, because like you don't realize how impactful that one good teacher may be. Like, shout out to Miss Pope. If anybody who's ever been around me or Donald, anyone from Wake Forest High School that goes here, you've heard them say Miss Pope. And Miss Pope was an English teacher, and you notice English teachers really be the backbone. Like, your English teachers probably wouldn't be one of the most important teachers, but she was amazing. She was like a mom at school. It really changed like my whole life. It really did. Like, she was amazing. It was just having someone that genuinely cared, like that you were there. Yeah. Like I remember she used to threaten to come upside me and my friend's head, because we used to skip class in high school. We wouldn't dare skip Miss Pope's class. Yeah. We wouldn't dare. We would skip the entire day, but come back campus to go to Miss Pope's class. She did not play, and we understood that very well. Yeah. And like even still, like we're in a group chat with her. I call her all the time for just questions about life or anything, and she if she's not gonna provide an answer, she's gonna help me find one. So being a teacher, like, appreciate your good teachers, man. Yeah. Like, appreciate them, because they don't get paid enough to do what they do, and they don't get respected enough to do what they do. So I feel like your teachers, especially if they were good to you, like they did right by you, make sure you do right by them.
And let them know.
Let them know. That's one of the best things they can hear, is that they're appreciated. Because, a lot of teachers, they don't feel appreciated. They go into work every day and got to deal with some bad kids. Like,
all the time.
That's rough. I don't know how I could do it.
It just seems like a lot. But one of the things I do want to do is be able to, like, have, like, guest lectures, or be able to go and speak to kids, or be able to
be a role
have, like,
model.
Events. Yes. I want to be a role model. At the end of the day, as long as I'm, like, an inspiration to some people, and some kids have an impact on people's lives, which is also why I made this podcast. So then, if some words that I'm able to share, or that my guest is able to share, just be able to like impact somebody, even though it's just through a microphone and some headphones or your speaker, just hoping that at some point somebody that I've met across my life that has impacted my life also impacts your life at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I care about a lot of people. Yeah. Like, a lot of people. But at the pinnacle of that list is my younger brother. And he goes here, so like, if I can make his path easier by just being a good example in any way, shape, or form, I try to do that. Because I want it to be as easy and smooth sailing from him. Like, I treat him like he's my son, even though he's only 2 years younger than me and probably more mature than me. Like, nah, he's really my motivation for doing all this. I wanted to go to school and I wanted to graduate because, like, I've never been top of the class. I've always been, somewhere in the middle. Yeah. Granted, a lot of times it was because I didn't try, and sometimes I couldn't, just fell a little short, and I was fine with that because I wanted to graduate and be an example to people. Like, you can, if I did it, you can too. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I came into college and I didn't have a resume until this year. I winged it, but I did it. I'm here, so like, don't ever think you're lacking something. Like, because if I can do it, you can too. Like I said, I came into college without a resume, and
look at you now.
Yeah, look at me now. I'm in my junior year, thugging it through. So just I just try to be a role model for anyone watching. Like, carry yourself good, and if you can't apply that to yourself, learn through someone else.
Yeah.
So
we love that. We love that. And then I'd say my biggest advice. We went on like a. See how it just like it'll start as one thing, and then it'll just I feel like my biggest advice, as you said earlier, networking. Talk to absolutely everybody, because you never know who knows who could be in touch with said opportunity, who could know about like getting access to what you really want to do.
Right, like, and only a few people gonna know what I mean when I say this, but shout out to Mama T's.
No,
shout out to Mama T's, man. This is why you should know, where you never know who you're gonna meet. I'm not gonna get into who Mama T's is. Just know it's a big dog.
Yeah,
a big homie.
And you never know like people's impact, what type of pull they may have. You literally never know. And there are just so many opportunities that, at least for me, that I've learned through at least college, that just from talking to somebody and building a relationship with somebody has given me access to
so many things. And I could name drop the person who has done that for me the most, and that is William Joe Clarence Teasley.
Yeah.
William Teasley, like, he got me into my major. He got me really close with my advisor. Like, he has done find a will, man. Or be will. Yes. Be a will. Like, it really does help. Like, I really haven't even had to network too much myself, because I networked with someone who was way better at it, and he was doing it subconsciously for you. So, like, just meet whoever you can, talk to whoever can, and don't be rude.
No
like
cap.
That is the worst thing you could be. Like, to me, that is my biggest pet peeve. You can be as pretty as you want. You can be as cool as you want, as popular as you want, as rich as you want. Never be rude.
Be polite.
Be polite.
Also, wait, what was I about to say? Don't be rude. And then, I forgot something again.
And always keep it respectful.
Yes.
Always keep it respectful.
No matter how bad a situation may be, as long as you can try and end it off on terms of being respectful, then that'll help you in the long run. Because don't slam a door on somebody, because you don't know what doors they may be able to slam on you that you're trying to get into.
Right.
They may be able to lock that door.
Right. And don't burn that bridge, because
you never know when you're going to have to cross back over.
You never know. And it's going to be an awkward cross. It's going to be a real awkward cross.
We got ashes. We got some broken panels.
Oh my Lord. Yeah. So.
And just a final question about college. What has been your favorite moment?
Oh man, bro, like, that is a loaded question.
If you can pick one,
bro, I can't, bro. Me and my friends, like, we do a lot of stupid stuff. Like, I'll admit, like, when it comes to doing stupid stuff, my partner in crime is Amon. It's Amon. We even freshman year, we were the ones dragging y'all into stupid stuff.
As soon as you guys met, it was just like a click. Like, crazy.
Same, one brain cell we shared. One brain cell we shared. And then, like, Donald started getting involved. Will started getting involved. You're now starting to get involved. Like, it's like, really, your friends can make or break your experience. And, like, I could just list off a whole bunch of stuff, where there's heckling at basketball games, any GHO event. I'm not gonna get into what happens at GHO and how you party and stuff, but, you have a ball, like, with your friends. Like, it really is fun. Me and Amon would go out at 3 a.m. and go sit outside doing absolutely nothing. Just talking. And, you really can't just pick a moment. There's so many. And if you can't pick a moment, I gotta say, that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
If you can pick a moment, that's kind of unfortunate. You ain't doing enough. Like, you should be able, like, when someone asks you a question like this, a whole bunch of things should just fly through your head.
Racing
through your head.
It's the same thing for me. Like, I can't really pick a moment. Just like as you're saying, like, the aspect of just so many things. Just being, like, surrounded by friends. I feel like that's, like, because I don't really have a moment. It's just being surrounded by people that make me happy, that I care about, me, it's like, this is why I like just being able to sit up with somebody till like the wee hours of the morning. And just talk about absolutely nothing. You're just sitting there. You can sit in complete silence, just be enjoying each other's presence. It's like,
and with your friend group, I tell people like be open to change. Like, you're as much as you would love for your friend group to stay the same, be whole. It usually doesn't work out that way. You got a couple people that just kind of float away. And like I said before when we started this podcast, it hurts, but it changes. Like people come and go, and then some people come and they stay. Like when Miles came here, like I was able to incorporate my little brother into my friend group, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like I watched him and his best friend, who he's rooming with now. Like I watched them grow up, and now they're tagging along in our shenanigans. Like it's great, and the friend group loves him. Like they're hurt right now because he isn't here. He's got the COVID, so he's at home right now. But we're all waiting for him to get back. Z is back, so we gotta get him involved in stuff. But yeah, it's just like you never know. Like your friend group is bound to change, and if it does, be comfortable with that. Be okay. So and then people, some people need to take their time. Like get their stuff together. Like just take them time, and you have to allow that. So
you never know, they could come back.
You never know, they may come back whenever. So you don't have to necessarily, especially if it didn't end off on the most positive note, you don't have to welcome them back with open arms. But leave the door cracked a little bit.
No cap, because you never know. You never know when you may need somebody or when, like that whole respect and that we're talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
Being able to live off on a good note and be respectful about things and not just be like, yeah, I hate you, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Because if you guys are really friends, if that care was really what you guys said it was, then this one disagreement or this one whatever it was won't really matter.
Don't be bitter.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Tying back to my ex-girlfriend, I was bitter for the longest time, and I took it out on other people. I try to live my life with no regrets. And I'm not even going to say I regret that, but because this may sound a little terrible, but everybody needs a villain in their origin story. And you're gonna have one, and you're probably gonna be one in someone else's.
Yeah.
But you gotta grow up at some point, and you don't want to be bitter for too long. Whether you're bitter for a day or 6 years, it's too long.
Yeah.
It's too long to be bitter. Don't be bitter, even about friends, relationships, girlfriends, yourself. Don't be bitter. So, yeah.
And that low-key wraps into my transition. But thank you for being on for this episode. I have a tradition. 2 questions.
What's up?
The first one, what are 3 things that you live by or your 3 keys to life?
I got it tattooed on me. 1 of 1. I'm 1 of 1. That's it. Second thing is, take my me time. Like, maybe I don't want to be around you all the time.
Yeah.
Let me do that. And number 3, have some love in your life. Have some love in your life.
Yeah. And then number 2, if you could have a conversation with the 12-year-old you, what would the conversation be about, and what advice would you give, and why?
Oh man, I would immediately humble the little dude. Immediately, I cannot stand the younger me. He was so conceited. He was something else, man. I would immediately humble him, but I'd tell him, it works out in the end.
Yeah.
You gonna be alright. You're gonna be short, but you're gonna be alright.
Yeah, bro. I'm geek. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this podcast and being a great friend as well. Anything you would like to promote, shameless plugs, anything that you have going on that you like to say, last words you'd like to leave the audience with?
Get photographed by Will Teasley. Shop Premier Customs.
See, get a friend that'll rep your brains, bro.
And yeah, that's really the only shameless plug I got.
Well, thank you so much again. Be on the lookout for more episodes, and also stay tuned for all the special guests that I will have on in the future. I'll continue to have amazing conversations with incredibly dope people that I've met throughout my many adventures through life. Also, follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Through Jeremiah's Eyes for updates and more content. It would also be amazing if you could also like, share, and subscribe to my podcast so that you don't miss out on an episode, and we can continue to grow this community. Thank you so much for your time, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode for another look through my eyes. See you soon.